Live here, San Diego Gears Pro Circuit open right now. I got Optic Mexico get ready to take on Simplicity. I got these two guys here. I'm gonna start over here with you, Chaos. Now, I gotta ask you, you guys now rocking the green wall. Is there any extra pressure representing the green wall and Optic Gaming, and then for you guys to come out here and compete?
Well, it's an organization that's basically known for their excellence, so of course we want to do great, and we're gonna do it this time. Yeah.
Now, top 8 in New Orleans. How have you guys gotten better? What have you guys worked on since New Orleans to come in here to San Diego to make sure you improve?
We've practiced a lot. We just got to deal with our emotions and stuff, and that's basically it. Yeah.
Now, this team over here, name is Simplicity. Is it going to be a simple match for you guys to beat them, or is it going to be a little harder than that?
Yeah, it's going to be simple.
All right, Sneak. Now, you was backstage scarfing down a burger or a sandwich or something back there earlier. So I know you a little bit full right now, but how you feel about this competition over here on the left with Optic Mexico?
I think it'll be a good game. You know, they're a real good team representing a good org, but I think it'll be the same result as Mexico. Never been a problem.
Never been a problem. All right, now tell me about your drive and your drive to play this game. How have you gotten here? What has been your journey to get here to this point?
It's been a long road for me personally. I've been through from underground, game battles, now I'm a professional now, so it's been a big journey for me, but I'm ready to take it to the next step.
And what's that next step? I mean, Optic Mexico is in the way. How you gonna get there?
I'm not worried about it. I need that.
Need that. He's talking about this right here behind me. Optic Mexico is in their way. Optic Mexico, Simplicity, you know what time it is. Lock it up!
Welcome back to the MLG Gears of War Pro Circuit Open here in San Diego. If you thought the first game was hot, wait until you see Simplicity going toe-to-toe with Optic Mexico. Once again, I'm your host, Billy, and I'm here with our analyst, the wonderful cleaner, Fallout, and Golden Boy is back. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here, man. You know, Gears of War, always a good time. The trash talk's always fantastic.
Second to none.
Second to none. So that is what I'm looking for. I mean, you got Chaos saying that Simplicity will be simple, and then you got Sneak saying that Mexico has never been a problem. Ooh. Like, I love that. I love that fire. That's what I like to see.
You do know why he said that, right?
Mexico City.
In Mexico City, actually, the Simplicity roster, besides Toy Soldier, they made their name by beating this Optic Mexico team that plays top 8.
On their home turf,
On their home turf.
Don't forget about that.
There you go. Huge upset. I mean, it was something that wasn't necessarily predicted. This Optic Mexico roster, they're so strong, but sometimes we kind of see them kind of taking a little bit of time to kind of get their momentum in full play. Usually they start off a little bit slower, then they kind of get going. This first matchup, I'm kind of interested to see what side we're going to get. If they follow the history, I think it's going to be a little slow starting, though.
Yeah, and a very emotional team, this Optic Mexico roster. They're undoubtedly one of the most skilled teams we have in the Gears Pro Circuit, but ultimately their emotions get the best of them. If they can stay calm, stay collected, I think we can see them perform. On the flip side, this Simplicity roster is so incredibly strong, plays top 6 in New Orleans. Of course, they pick up Toy Soldier now and replace a Firearm, I believe.
Yes.
That's a huge upgrade.
That's a great pickup. The human highlight reel.
Gears War 3, man. For 6 years now, everyone remembers what Toy Soldier did on that platform on checkout, that's for sure.
Big time. Now, Golden Boy, playing under attack such as Optic Gaming.
Yeah.
Optic Mexico, they haven't been able to really prove themselves to show that they belong in the upper echelon of teams. Heading into this event, what should be on their mind?
I mean, you know, I kind of think you have to forget about the jersey you're wearing for a moment.
There you go.
And you just need to play the game. As Cleaner said, right, if this team comes out the gate with a slow start, that is going to be the thing that will sit with them the entirety of this competition. They need to have a strong, pointed start here against Simplicity, make a statement,
Okay.
make Sneaky eat those words,
Okay.
and just move on. That's what they need to do here if they want to succeed.
Yeah, the one thing I would love to point out about Simplicity, when you take a look at their roster, they're complete. It's a perfect roster. You have an anchor player like Sneaky, he's able to hold his own. But what about Exclusive? We saw Exclusive go absolutely off last event. What makes him so special is the Slayer.
Exclusive, he's extremely versatile. He knows the time. He knows when he needs to use that Nasher. But he's not afraid to back up from a fight. And you know what? I don't need to use the Nasher. I'm going to take that team fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for my teammate. I'm just not just going to get, kind of foolhardy and rush in. And that's what makes him a good player. And kind of making those decisions in the fight, split second. And that's what you need. And that's what makes him such a versatile and just strong Slayer and player.
This is going to be such a different roster from the one that we saw in New Orleans by replacing Firearm, a sniping specialist, okay, an underdog of sorts, by replacing him with Toy Soldier. Toy Soldier, formerly of Echo Fox, the human highlight reel. What does he do that makes him so special? Because I heard that they're just letting him go around the map and do whatever he wants.
What doesn't he do, though? I've known Toy for years, man. I mean, I remember casting Toy Soldier back in UE. That was like my first introduction to this guy. Yeah, what doesn't he do?
That's
everything.
Look at his pedigree, man.
Exactly.
Team Envious for a year, played for Echo Fox for a year and a half. He was arguably a top 3 player in Gears of War 3.
He's a champion.
Of course, unbelievable player, an amazing resume. I think he's going to fit this roster incredibly well. That's a great pickup. He can also snipe too. So you look at what you lost from Firearm. You're not going to really lose a lot of slack with having Toy Soldier in your team. Exclusive, a great sniper as well.
It's really difficult to keep track of him on the map. He moves around so quickly. You're not going to see him sitting in one place at one time. You're going to look over. Exactly. You think Toy's over here. Then you turn around, you take your fight, and then he's got a shotgun just shoved where you don't want it,
Yes, and on the other side, when you take a look at Optic Mexico, all right, we talked about Simplicity. They're nice. It's a cute roster. But when you look at players such as Chaos and Monkey.
Did you say a cute roster?
He just said a cute roster.
They're adorable.
They're adorable.
Cute roster. I like
they can do nice.
Now,
I heard a roster described as
not before I would have
Yeah, I'm like,
Gears of War, but yeah, sure,
What are they like? The fluffy, we pet him like this is an intense, like this is a competitive roster.
They're definitely an up-and-coming roster that upset Echo Fox last event. But when you take a look at Optic Mexico, they have extreme firepower. When you take a look at our map bans and picks, we're gonna kick things off on Harbor after that, damn, and Lift as a tiebreaker map. Harbor, a map that we've seen Simplicity go absolutely off on. I don't know if Optic Mexico can keep up with the team fire. We've seen their individual skill, but when it comes to teamwork, what do we want to see on Harbor, Fallout?
Yeah, you know, one thing that's interesting about the entire map ban and pick process, is you don't really have a lot of key 1v1 spots. Sneak, a great 1v1 player, a great home hill player, a phenomenal ad, it always has been. Not a lot of key 1v1 spots on that. So you want to answer your question, you want to see them rotate and shoot for each other well. Optic Mexico is a great Harbor team. They always have been. I'm surprised to see Reclaimed banned out, because obviously it's one of their bread and butter maps as well. But I think it's a good pick for them. I think they'll be able to start strong here in Harbor.
Yeah, what thoughts, though, because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, like, Dam's going to be very interesting as well for Simplicity. Can we potentially see maybe that's like the map where they close it out? Do you think that like that could just be it? It could be a 2-0?
Well, just so you know, Simplicity closed out that map against Optic Mexico in order to play Stop 8 in Mexico.
It's possible. And then with the addition of Toy Soldier, Toy Soldier is extremely versatile. I'll be honest. He's one, like you said, previously one of the top 3 players and still an extremely talented player and a great addition to this roster. I think absolutely they could.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick things off on our second main stage game of the day. Simplicity and Optic Mexico. Golden Boy, Fallout, take it away.
Thank you so much, Veli. Appreciate it. This is going to be a good one. Optic Mexico going up against Simplicity here. Looking forward to seeing some Latin American versus North American action. We'll be going to Harbor.
Yeah, and you and I both. It's a pleasure to be back on the mic with you too, my friend. It's been a long time since we had a chance to cast some Gears of War together. Great to be back with a premier marquee matchup between Optic Mexico and Simplicity. You mentioned it. Mexico representing the entire region in Latin America. Of course, Simplicity on the American side. We'll see how the action is going to break down.
Oh, very interesting start here from Simplicity as well, deciding not to head upward and try and challenge right away. Instead, they try and like see if they can stick together rather than try and see if they can go for the individual battles, as you had mentioned before.
Yes, on board of Dezo. We talked about how skillful this Optic Mexico team is. He's a big part of that. He's always been a flashy player ever since Gears of War 3, and anytime he has instants in his hands, he's got to be scared as well. Him and Chaos, in my opinion, the 2 slayers for this team.
Chaos now finds 2 players in front of him. It's going to be Toy and Hezi just backing away. He's going to wait for some more assistance here, see if he can get some more help.
Meanwhile, Sleeper's going to take out one.
Toy's not going to wait.
Oh, yeah, of course he's not. Toy's going to fly at any opportunity he can. He has to back out now as Monkey's going to rotate through. And Monkey's another interesting storyline. He performed at Mexico City in the open bracket for maybe the 5th or 6th best Mexican team and made a name for himself after that event. Got picked up by the #1 team in Mexico after that. Really awesome to see this up-and-coming player.
Here comes the push here from Simplicity. Thus far, though, you got a couple players that are going to be a little weak, having to back away. 4 players are going to be stacked up here now. Monkeys, he does not see the players coming out of the smoke. Now he's going to have to engage. Ends up going down, and that is going to be a nice, clean sweep right up top.
And no reason to die to Chaos right there. He's able to take out one. It was a 4 versus 1 situation. You cannot let Chaos pick up a kill. That's honestly going to keep Optic Mexico alive in this one. 3-cap domination being denied by the Sea Hill. I think it's someone's going to overextend all the way to A side. So they should be in a good spot.
Dezo backing up as we get a lay of the land here, get a feel for the map. You see that pressure starting to come in here from Optic Mexico. Run, see, they just want to see if they can get that one right back as quickly as they possibly can.
Yep, and I love that push we saw from Simplicity up high side towards the stern. It was a great job wolf packing, but despite that effort, it's going to be Optic Mexico with a 3-cap domination. They're going to win map #1 here. You see Dezenide and Co. getting up and getting hyped.
Strong start here for Optic Mexico. Exactly what we had talked about before, right? They need to have this momentum early on, build off of that, and maybe just ride this one to an easy win. I mean, this is a team that a lot of people are looking at and saying they should be able to win this match against Simplicity.
Yeah, of course, the Simplicity roster, easier said than done. These two teams did have a chance to play against one another in pool play at New Orleans. Optic Mexico got the best of them, but Simplicity ended up winning that pool, actually, in a weird turn of events at New Orleans. We'll see if history repeats itself here, if Optic Mexico can start strong once again against the Simplicity roster.
Once again, let's see where that split is going to go. No weapon has been placed down. Instead, it will be a denial at the front of the winch. Sometimes you like to see grenades get thrown down there or something like that, something that you can be used as utility. This time around, though, it is just going to be overall denied. Sneak now decides to rush in through the smoke, finds a couple players right in front of him. And wisely enough, though, you're going to have Optic Mexico just backing away for the time being. But these players have to be so cautious not to get trapped here.
And Sneak, that player we talked about in the pregame, of course, did the pregame interview as well. Typically the 1 versus 1 home hill player, so it's good to see him in the action. We'll see how he can perform. Definitely a key player in this one. I'm board with Hezzy now. Hezzy on the rotation. He's going to get Lancer down. And you can just feel the pressure from this Optic Mexico squad. Yeah. Playing near perfect, shooting for each other, slaying out, and Sleeper's going to take out one over Sneak.
That's going to be a big win for them, and that would also give them some nice control there of the map for the time being. Rotations happening here, and see, though, if Simplicity is going to be able to stop this push from Monkeys. That's going to force Exclusive back, and now the both players are actually going to be back there. 2 seconds, they got to go and challenge. They are able to deny that one. They're going to be right next to it, so they should be able to win this one out. Only 1 player, 2 players, as a matter of fact, for Optic Mexico going to be around there, though, and they are going to clear it out, so they will be able to hold it for the time being.
And I love that play from the man we just saw get a kill at the bottom left of your screen. That's Exclusive. He backed out, threw a smoke at his feet, was able to buy enough time for his teammates to respawn up before pushing back into the fight, picking up 2 kills, and keeping his team alive. Heads up play from Exclusive. Those are the small things that he does that really does make a difference. Meanwhile, Chaos going to take out 1.
See now how Simplicity is going to be able to fight this one out, but it is not going to be what they wanted there, as Adverse and company managed to make quick work out of them. Now Toy Soldier, though, won't be able to be a highlight reel there as he gets stopped. And this is looking like C is going to go to Optic Mexico. They just got to go in there and challenge it for the time being, which they should be able to do so. That is their home. This is where the respawns are coming out of. Hezzy gets the stop onto Adverse. Chaos goes down as well, and Monkeys knows that this is just not going to be a winnable battle in its current state. But once again, though, more pressure being applied by Optic Mexico. Very well done, forcing Simplicity to have to turtle up inside of their base.
Yeah, pressure's the perfect word. You can almost feel it. As soon as Simplicity gasps for breath over water, they get immediately dunked back down as Optic Mexico shuts down any momentum that they get. Let's see if this time we can have a different story here. Of course, as I say that, Zenon gonna get taken out. He's gonna shut down Chaos, though. Zenon, in a world of hurt, full red, gonna get his health back and revive his teammate. Well played from Simplicity. We got some good momentum here.
Big kills. Big kills coming out of here from Simplicity, and they need this one because look at that scoreboard as well. Seems like they were able to flip the tables on Optic Mexico, and that is going to give them their first round win. Very well done. They needed to execute at that moment because the score was getting a little out of hand. They just could not let it get to that point. They didn't want them to win by points. Instead, they won by domination.
And you love to see it. That's what you love about Gears of War. Momentum can shift in the blink of an eye. If you sleep on it, you might miss it. As Simplicity is able to bounce their way back into this one, we're tied at 1 apiece. As we were just talking about how much pressure Optic Mexico had on Simplicity, they're able to flip the switch and pull a round off here. We'll see what Optic Mexico opts for here. Looks like it's going to be a Marksa on the pipes and cargo. That is very typical of Optic Mexico. They love getting that marks in the hands of advers or Sleeper, some very, very good secondary weapon support players.
See how this plays out. I'm sure Optic Mexico not happy with the fact that they had invested so much in round 2 for it to only just go away in the blink of an eye. The battle for the win show will begin this time, though, with the Marksas providing that support, that long-range coverage.
It's going to be Monkeys, actually, who picks up that Marksa. You're usually expect him to be in the fight as a kind of a key slayer, but this time it's going to be him with a secondary weapon. Hezi and Toy both pick up 1. 3 dead right now for Optic Mexico, so it's going to be Monkeys back against the wall, staying sneaky here. He's going to get shot out by Hezi, able to win the 1-versus-1 and clutch up. Nice job by Monkey staying alive.
Yeah, and he knew that another player was going to be coming around the corner there in his home flag, but he just was not able to stay alive because he ended up getting crossed as well. This is going to be potential domination here, but they are able to stop it, though. The smoke is going to be out. Couple kills coming in. Dezo's going to fall at the hands of Exclusive. And despite the respawns coming in Exclusive, he was stunned for the time being here, but he still manages to stay alive, has teammates there for support, and Simplicity gets a second round in a row. And this is exactly what Optic Mexico just did not want to happen here. That speed, that Simplicity are flying at them with is something that I don't think that they were prepared for in that round.
Yeah, and both rounds we've seen so far, won by Simplicity, have been quick 3-cap domination type of rounds. So you want to see them try and take that to their advantage. Maybe place a weapon like a boom shot that can give you some momentum and give you the ability to close out a 3-cap. Meanwhile, Optic Mexico wants to slow things down. That's why they're opting for more secondary weapon placements, things like Marksa's Hammer Bursts, which are really some support weapons. You can sit back, you can put some shots in for your team, and you can hopefully slow down the pace of the game.
I just don't know how I necessarily feel about that. I mean, sure, you place the mark, so you're trying to see if you can, slow down the matchup, but then you start the round off, and Toy and I forgot the other teammate were able to pick up 2 right away.
Yep.
So you just simply cannot lose 2 players like that out the gate, or else they are going to take advantage. And immediately, that first blood goes to Simplicity. Once again, the pressure's starting to come now, and Dezo's gonna have to back away. Luckily, he has support, but still, you're losing out so early on those initial engagements.
Yep, well said. And I completely agree, but the interesting thing was, despite Simplicity getting that first blood, they were able to capitalize. Yeah, exactly. It was sneak. I think making maybe a little bit of a misplay. Maybe he knew something that we didn't. But he pushed a 1-versus-2 unnecessarily. You have a 5-on-4. You got to find your numbers advantages and trade out kills. Instead, this time, Optic Mexico giving Simplicity a taste of their own medicine. They're going to get the 3-cap domination here, and we're tied at 2 apiece.
And that is really the difference there, right? When you lose that first player, it's about how you're able to recoup, how you're able to react out of those fights. You cannot lose that first player and be like, oh crap, everything's gonna go to hell here. Like, this is it. Like, and that's kind of what ended up happening in round 3, right? Now, this time around, Optic Mexico, they have the composure. They were able to follow it up with 2, surround the players that they needed to surround, box people out, and that gave them that win.
Well done by Optic Mexico. They did lose that first initial by, I think it was, I'm not sure, it was Monkeys or who it was that got taken out in first blood from Hezi. We'll see what happens again here. Meanwhile, Ensign's placed for Simplicity. They want something a little bit more aggressive. They want to be able to use those instants, pick up some quick kills. They're really just going to give those 2 people fighting a 1v1 an extra tool to play with.
You really see the difference in the approach from both of these teams, right? Optic Mexico opting to play a little bit of that more consistent, slow-paced game, whereas Simplicity, they just want to charge at you with everything they have. Like, very, very different games here that we're seeing from both of these teams now, and Simplicity are able to get down 4 currently, and remember those respawns, they get longer and longer with each and every round. This is looking like it will be Simplicity domination here. They are not careful. The respawn's starting to come in for Optic Mexico, but there are just so many players surrounding that, and that will be the 3rd for Simplicity.
And look at this game. Such an interesting harbor map. We're seeing these 2 heavyweights trade punch for punch every single round with 3-cap domination after 3-cap domination. It's been an interesting one. I don't think we've seen anyone win off of points yet, have we, Golden Boy?
No. It's just been all domination, but it's been done in very, very weird ways here, right? You have the much more methodical approach of Optic Mexico versus, as you said, kind of just the in-your-face gameplay of Simplicity. It's a tale of 2 different approaches.
Yep. We're at 3-2 right now is the score in favor of Simplicity. All 5 rounds have been an elimination, and a drop shot was placed up top at the stern. That's going to change things up here. Optic Mexico looking to change the tide. Not going to help it.
Put a lot more pressure up top here. Hesse, though, needs to take out. Oh, nice shot there. Boom shot, or excuse me, the drop shot does come out. On the other side, and that is going to be Optic Mexico managed to get possession of that one. Desanide, to be more exact, and now things start to slow down here as Simplicity have lost a couple members. They need to be able to get their home at the very least, but it's going to be very difficult to do with that drop shot in play, especially if you're getting surrounded like this. This is not looking good for Simplicity. Toy needs to make a play. He manages to push in, but there's 2 players there to stop him right at the front door.
Wow, 3-3. We are all tied up going into the second half. I don't think we could have written a better story here as we have another close match on our hands. Simplicity versus Optic Mexico. And if you're an Optic fan, you like to see that. They place the drop shot up top. They call it a quick pick strat. Not sure if you guys saw that on your screens, but they actually call it a quick pick strat. We're able to grab that drop shot immediately, back roll and play a little bit slower, then use that drop shot to push back forward, gain more momentum, and secure the 3-cap domination. Very well played by Mexico.
Now the field is cleared. All the weapons are gone. Respawns are back to normal here. It's all going to come down to the Nashers and the positioning, and so far, if you're a bet man, Simplicity, they have been looking a little bit better in those kinds of scenarios rather than Optic Mexico, despite them getting that first round out of the gate here. And Sneak manages to steal one away, and that's going to be a kill onto Chaos. Adverse goes down to the hands of Toy, and Dezo won't be able to stay alive. So that means Simplicity, they have the control currently. Sleeper's just going to have to stay back and try and see if he can defend his home. But look at that push coming out of Simplicity. One player's going to be rounding up the rear as well, but they should be able to make quick work out of him with all the Lancers facing in that direction. That's going to be another domination for Simplicity. Wow. Giving him 4 rounds. And man, and that's what I said. Fuck out of here, bro. Just the nature of it. When it comes down to the Nashers and the Lancer gameplay, Simplicity have just been looking better.
Yeah. Look at the hype from that man, Sneak. We saw him in the pregame interview. What you might not know is the man is a D1 athlete, runs track at Illinois State University and plays Gears of War professionally as well. He does it all. Big shout out to Sneak and his entire family, always support him every single event, and he's performing so far. 10 kills already for Sneak.
I think that was also Hesse as well with 10. So you got some solid slaying here for Simplicity.
There we go. Looks like Marxes will be placed again. So Optic really taking the same page out of their strat book with another Marxa placement. Looks like members of Simplicity are going to back out and retreat to Stern. They're going to give away wench control to Desanide. So Desanide now can cross low side. They can also flank high side. Really well played right there as Adverse picks up 2.
Big double for Adverse there. Needs to follow up with another one, but he will have the support of his teammates there. Wait a minute. Exclusive still managing to bounce around and staying alive, but finally ends up getting down. I mean, that is such a hard win there to ask for Exclusive because, you know, but still to be able to stay alive long enough there.
Exactly. I was going to say it still is a win in my eyes. He stayed alive long enough for his teammates to spawn back up and get a break here. That's going to be Toy Soldier now getting 1 break, with Sleeper going to shut things down with a double kill, making a triple kill as Optic Mexico ties this at 4 apiece.
A very well done situation there for Exclusive, right? Just, you know, good plays there, forcing the attention at the stern, not allowing Optic Mexico to make the appropriate rotation so that they can completely defend against the Simplicity home. But still, though, when you have guys like Sleeper clutching up there at the final moments, that makes this game that much closer. Tie 4-4. This has been a slugfest here, Fallout. This has been insane. They've been going back and forth nonstop.
And that's why Sleeper was picked up in replacement of Involving, of course, longtime member of that former Splice, now Optic Mexico roster. Sleeper was picked up after, I think Involving was grabbed after Identives left for America to join Ghost Gaming. So it's been an interesting flurry of roster changes here for Optic Mexico, but they feel like they finally found the team that's going to stick with it.
Got the marks down, and then there was that denial just ahead of the winch, which makes sense. We've seen that one happen before. You just don't want to allow them to place any kind of utility there, place anything there, really, just so that this way you can have free reign to be able to move around. A couple players are going to be down presently here, but no kills quite yet. And Xenon actually is going to be the first one to go down. This is not going to look good for Simplicity, as Optic Mexico are able to take out 2, forcing back some of the members of Simplicity.
And this is the Optic Mexico we're used to seeing. They win initials because of their skill, their ability to out-skill opponents, and then capitalize on that initial, on their skill, to secure a 3-cap domination. Optic Mexico starting to heat up here. That's 2 rounds in a row for them.
Yeah, first team, I believe, or actually, no, I stand corrected. Simplicity were able to get rounds 2 and 3 back-to-back, but ever since then, they've been trading blows. Now it will be Optic Mexico's turn, and it couldn't have happened at a better time, considering how close we are to the end of this game, Fallout.
Yep.
Let's see what Simplicity is going to do. What are they going to place here?
It's 2 rounds in a row they lost the initial, so you don't want to see them continue to try the same fight. There you go. They're going to place the sniper up top. That's going to force the fight a little bit higher side, so east side hill. And at least 2 or 3 people are going to have to play for that snipe. Let's see how the strats break down here, but I like that weapon placement in for Simplicity. Down by 1 now. I think this is their first deficit of the game, if I do believe so.
By the way, I just want to also commend Sleeper there. He's having one heck of a performance in this game thus far. He's minimized his deaths. He's been able to just rack up kill after kill. Lots of support fire coming in as well.
And here comes the same thing, quick pick strat now. So Optic Mexico is going to get a taste of their own medicine. As Sniper now in the hands of Hezi. He's going to connect for a body shot. Sneak grabs a headshot on Chaos. 5-on-4 situation. Numbers advantage in the favor of Simplicity. Make it a 5-on-3. Make it a 5-on-2 with Simplicity in a good position here. Doesn't have his other things to say.
Dezo does manage to get the kill there. Player is going to back away just around the corner, but he's going to be so weak and finally ends up getting down. That is going to give Simplicity the time to be able to push this here. Forces back with some Lancer play, but that smoke is going to have to back him away for the time being. And a couple players are actually going to be coming off the respawn now.
I gotta say, that play from Dezenide, you might have forgotten about it already, but you shouldn't have. Double kill, kept them alive. That is single-handedly the reason that Optic Mexico is still in this one. Meanwhile, he's in and out of ammo. He's gonna go for the cheeky melee right there, not gonna connect. But Optic Mexico has a chance to bounce right back.
It looked like it would have been doom and gloom there for Optic Mexico. Yep. But clutch plays when you least expect it are oftentimes the difference maker, and my goodness, that just shredded his health. He ended up falling immediately. I
want to point out there's actually something beautiful there. Toy Soldier actually baited the Lancer by pushing up, trusting his team in Exclusive to pick up the down with the Marsa. That's a nice bait and switch right there for Toy and Exclusive as they're able to pick up one.
Looking around, trying to see if they can get some vision here, get an idea as to what's going on, and I like that overhead view there. Kind of tells the story of how Optic Mexico, they're pinned back on their side. Simplicity has a lot of control, but it doesn't feel like they are in the driver's seat necessarily. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it just felt like they didn't really have a clear-cut game plan there, especially because Hezi just isn't really getting much with that long shot. He's not getting a lot with that, and I'm sure that he's also frustrated with that as well.
Yeah, and this is exactly Hezi. Sometimes you have a sniper out. It was designed as a secondary weapon in Gears of War 4. I don't care what you say about it. Obviously, it can be used as a power weapon. A couple good shots picked up there, but really, you could be, if you miss a couple shots, you're useless for about 10 seconds. So it's good that he's taking out his pistol here. He's trying to support his teammates a little more.
It's going to be a couple members down for Simplicity, and that is actually just going to be taking out the trash there, man. They just sweep them out as they were all down. We may get our first round here to points if it continues like this. Exclusive needs to keep this one, but he will not be able to as 3 members of Optic Mexico pushed up and were able to establish domination, giving them another round win.
Cass can make sure to get up that they know what they just did. He screams across the stage, choke, as Simplicity threw away that round. I mean, there's really no reason they should not have won off points. Again, Hezi rotating that sniper over to Winch, was trying to get some, he had good ambitions, was trying to get some shots low side, but what that did is that opened up the E-Hill high side push. 3 members of Optic Mexico swung through that high side, grabbed E, and used that momentum and those kills to steamroll into a 3-cap domination. Very well played by Optic Mexico, but Simplicity, you got to hold your setups a little bit better.
Simplicity needs to make a play. They're going to just throw down the frag by the docks. So going for the frag here, it's going to, I don't think it's going to necessarily draw too much attention away from the snipe, but it's going to make that 1v1 down low that much more impactful.
Exactly. So still see that 1 versus 1 low side. Well said and well called right there. Is now the high side fight. Last time we saw Simplicity send 3 members high side for that sniper. This time they're only going to send 2 of the 3rd rotating late. So they do have a numbers advantage right now. They have a 3v2. I don't know if they recognize it. but you want to take your numbers advantages. You want to give head counts immediately off the rip.
Yeah, they just didn't have a lot of vision there. Player is going to go down, but they should be able to get him back up, but they're just getting swarmed with Lancer Fire, and Optic Mexico gets 4 out of that one, leaving Xenon by himself, and he's already going to be weakened here. Does not have a lot of mobility options. That is just going to set him up for failure there. He goes down. Players off of the respawn, but the domination is going to come through, and Optic Mexico gets the win. 7-4. Wow.
Such great gameplay there by Optic Mexico. I think it was 4 rounds ago, and we said you're feeling this Optic Mexico squad starting to heat up, and it really did show. 4 straight rounds to close that out. Optic Mexico takes it 7-4. So if you're a fan of the Green Wall, if you're a fan of Optic Mexico, great start for them.
Very well done there. Very well done.
Yeah, congratulations to Optic Mexico picking up the first map of the series. But I took a look and I saw our analyst, Cleaner, taking down a bunch of notes. What are you writing down, man?
Some opportunities some things that I was kind of questioning. I'm like, why are you doing this? There's a situation with Sneak, and he has a partner. And again, you know, I was just kind of praising them for knowing when to take out the Nash and the Lancer. And what does he do? He's pulling out the pistol. That's fine, give him a little bit of cover fire. But then his teammate, he doesn't need to push this. He pushes super aggressively with the Nasher, gets isolated, and just gets taken out. But if they would have just taken a moment, utilize the Lancer, teamfire, down him in a second, and then move and rotate. And because one teammate goes down, then Sneak goes down, and then, you know, Optic Mexico, they're able to just push forward and just get the domination.
Yeah, we saw the same exact thing with Hezzy having the sniper out over on Winch. Because he had
a little bit too long.
He was useless at times.
Yeah. If you're not hitting it, if you don't have a good location, and if you don't feel like you're able to capitalize on it, move, rotate. You're sitting there too long. One thing with that round that really bothered me, and I don't understand why they did it, they were leading 150 to approximately 70, 80 points. Yeah. And they pushed for a triple cap.
Yeah.
Why?
Hold the setup.
It felt like they just got a little too overambitious at times.
They were excited.
You know, because they, you know, gun to gun, right? They were winning those fights.
Yeah,
they were looking pretty solid in the beginning of this game. Then something happened. It was almost as if they just got a little too confident.
Yeah, a little bit of cockiness almost, because they push in, and you're going to see they all push Dezo, but Dezo has that team fire coming down on him. And in that situation, all 3 members down, Dezo picks up 3 kills. Okay, at this point in the game, these later respawns, they're going to go for the domination, which is exactly what happened. They did not need to overextend. They did not need to go for the domination. You've got a 2-hill setup, sit, maintain, go for points. We didn't see a single round finish that entire match. Everything was just domination, 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 and that's okay. But work your setup. You worked hard for it. You worked hard for that positioning. You know, benefit from it.
Advantage.
Exactly.
Most definitely. So earlier on in this season, we've seen players such as Chaos, and specifically, he's gone off, he's gotten 52 kills, almost tying the highest kills in the game. He's been aggressive so far this season in Gears of War, making a big name for himself. Now, Optic Mexico, Chaos has been outright phenomenal. Before we head into map 2, I say that we learned a little bit more about my man Chaos.
As I was growing up, I used to play basketball and baseball. I was pretty good at baseball. If I would have worked harder, I probably would have be playing professional now.
This is where I basically grew up. I used to have my share of home runs here.
My life in Puerto Rico is great. I live in this apartment by myself and my beautiful cat, Tom. Yeah, he's a great support system. I'm so proud of being Puerto Rican. Like, this place is everything for me. Walking the streets in Puerto Rico feels great because it's so beautiful. The best part about Puerto Rico is the people in it. We give basically an excuse to just be together and have a good time. This is the only place that I've been to that you go eat and everyone says buen provecho. That means have a nice meal. Puerto Rican mothers are the best. the cooking, everything, like they're just there for you. That's a great thing about Puerto Ricans as well, that they're family first.
Javi has always been a really good kid, very loving, very caring. He used to spend many, many hours playing video games.
The first time I played Gears of War was like almost, no, like 10 years ago. We started playing GBs, local LANs here, so, and the community in Puerto Rico was pretty, like back then, was decent, like 100 players competitively playing. Yeah, I used to stay up late at night playing. They took my Xbox from me, but I was young.
I would just shut the internet off. And he was like, Mom, I was in the middle of a game. It was so important. I was like, that cannot be that important. Come on, you gotta go to bed.
I wasn't supposed to be playing at that hour, so. Gears 3, we had a pretty good team, but we couldn't travel. There was basically no incentive to travel. There wasn't any money in the game. When Gears 4 came out, I wasn't playing the game. It was UE. I quit the game. And Demise told me there's $1 million for the first season of Gears of War 4. So I hopped back in the game and started playing, grinding a lot, and I'm here. My first LAN event was in Mexico, so it was a pretty big turnout. I played Gears here, but I didn't went to a lot of LANs. So when you see people yelling out in front of you, that's like a crazy thing. I kind of like it. I kind of got hooked with it, so I started yelling back. When I got picked up by Splice, I thought this was the best team I've ever had. We didn't do as well the first event. We got 7th to 8th. Then the other event we got in Paris, we got 2nd. Getting 2nd, it was pretty surreal because at the time we didn't believe we could have done that. So we gained a lot of confidence through that event. So when Identives left, we didn't expect it a little bit. We knew about the close offer, but we didn't expect him to take it. At first, it was tough finding a 5th, so it was kind of a rebuilding process for us. So we rebuilt. Vegas, we got 3rd, we picked up Monkeys, but people still don't believe us. Like, people are still like, that's a fluke. But we're gonna show them that's not a fluke, yeah. Hurricane Irma came first, but it didn't hit the island that hard. I was here, so I didn't have powers for like 2 weeks. When Maria came, that was like a couple of weeks after. It came stronger and it came like through the middle, so it hit it like pretty hard. The day before, I got a flight to go to LA so I can keep on gaming, because if I didn't, I would have been 60 days without power and I wouldn't have played the first event, so it was gonna be tough. So the aftermath of Maria was a lot of people without food, water, no power, no gas. It was pretty hectic and it was just crazy. I wish I could have stayed and played at the same time, but I couldn't. I don't feel guilty for leaving because I know what would have happened if I stayed, but it feels pretty bad that they went through it and I didn't. Puerto Rico is pretty resilient and they'll come back from this, and they have come back from it. And things have been better. They still have to work in a lot of places and work a lot of stuff, but Puerto Rican people are pretty resilient and we're gonna rise up. The advice that I give to other Puerto Rican gamers is just to grind. The grind is everything, because practice makes you better every day. Maybe you're not playing as well. Basketball, sometimes you have off days, you're shooting bad, so you're gonna do bad, so you have to mentally go through it, and you just have to pick yourself up, pick your teammates up, and then do better. Gracias a todos los que siempre han estado ahí atrás de nosotros apoyándonos, todos los que han ido a los eventos, han pedido que nos tomemos fotos con ustedes. Ustedes son los que hacen esto más fácil para nosotros, básicamente. Nada, gracias por apoyarnos y estar ahí siempre, y los queremos.
There you have it there from Optic Mexico's
my man Chaos.
Optic Mexico's own Chaos.
Marveling at his own work.
Exactly. Side note, Mama Chaos never turn off his internet ever again when he's in the middle of a game. Well, Fallout, taking a look at these international teams, Optic Mexico in specific, how far have they come along in this scene?
Yeah, it's been unbelievable to see. The vision of Gears Esports originally was to support international growth. You saw tournaments in Mexico City, Paris, London. We just got back from Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago now. Time flies. But it's really amazing to see that the vision has come to life. We see the growth of the Latin American scene with players like Chaos that have really developed and become phenomenal individual players. And we see that the Puerto Rican community, the Mexican community, we have an event in Brazil.
They're hardcore.
In a couple of weeks.
I love them.
It's absolutely amazing.
Oh, man. The Latin American community, they're second to none. Like, they're so passionate. And even watching this video about Chaos it's kind of heart-wrenching a little bit, you know, just going through that, experiencing something like that, and then having that feeling where you can't be there for your family. I can only imagine. You know, it's difficult enough being so far away from home. Yeah. But doing it and kind of putting his career and putting his future and just saying, listen, this is what I have to do. This is what I need to do. I want to be there with my family, but if I would say, I can't play in this event, I'll be without power for 60 days. And making that decision, I can't imagine.
Oh, you know, as a Puerto Rican, you know, I could say, you know, the situation in Irma was definitely something that hit all of us very hard. You know, I had family out there, you know, just like, you know, he had family out there without power for a very, very long time. Yeah. But, you know, the one thing in our culture and the way we are is we look at it and we say, like, hey, you know, your career, the opportunities don't come, you know, to the island all that much. So like when you get that moment, when you get that, you know, that an opportunity to grasp greatness, you just got to go for it, and family always supports.
Yes. And I got to say, I know the Gears community really rallied around that entire moment. We raised money in relief through a couple of our events that we were able to do. Thank you to the Coalition for supporting that. The local Microsoft store in Puerto Rico hosted a Gears of War event the weekend after, just to give people some relief and opportunity to have some fun. It's really awesome to see how the Gears community rallied to support everyone that was affected by Hurricane Irma and Maria down in Puerto Rico and in our Caribbean islands.
And jumping in this next match, what I want to see from Simplicity is just kind of taking it a little bit slower, and I want to see a real power weapon on the map. We were yet to see one last round.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on map 2, Optic Mexico and Simplicity.
Well, you know, Cleaner said it, right? He wants to see them kind of just take control here. They're going to need to do that because, you know, that was going to be Optic Gaming Mexico's pick, Harbor, just a little while ago, and it started off nicely for them. He thought that they were going blow for blow. He thought that they were starting to hit them in the face a little bit, and then things kind of just fell apart 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and that was Optic Mexico's map. So, and then Simplicity's defense, Optic Mexico picked that map for a reason. This is Simplicity's map, and they're showing why. With a strong early kill on Dezenai, Chaos gets shut down as well, and now a 5-on-3 opportunity here for Simplicity.
Forcing Optic Mexico to have to make some moves here. Something I just want to talk about as well was the fact that game 1, we did not have a single round end by points. Yeah, almost. True. We had like 1 or 2 like that could have, but
all 11 rounds.
Yeah, which is insane. Just constant domination, non-stop.
Yeah, unbelievable. It really was. I mean, I think we'll see something a little bit different here from Dam. Typically on Dam, you see a lot of 3-cap dominations as well, but I think in these early rounds especially, you'll see that. And really a big part of that, Golden Boy, is the meta change. Coalition made an intentional choice to make 12-second player respawn timers instead of 10 seconds, so it's more, it plays more like execution, like we're used to watching in traditional Gears of War, and that's why you see a lot of those 3-caps.
That's going to be Headshot there for Dezo, and domination will be denied there as Xenon's going to have to defend this one. Able to get the kill onto Sleeper. Knows another player's going to be lurking about. Actually, that player ended up bailing, and wisely enough, just letting the spawns coming back in. And Optic Mexico, though, forcing them back here for the time being. They just need to make a move. They do have a lead, but it is a very fragile one, to say the least. Here comes Xenon, and Adverse is waiting for that. He was waiting for him to make that move around the corner here, and Xenon was banging on that player coming from behind there. That's going to give him a double. Onto Monkeys and Adverse. A couple more players going to be lingering about for Optic Mexico here, but Xenon is going to get dropped, and that is going to force Sneak to have to go back to his home with his tail between his legs and hope that his teammates come back quickly enough.
I gotta say, props to whoever's operating the camera right there, because they caught Zenon on a hot hand. Zenon, of course, made a name for himself on the Pedro Juan Jose roster at Mexico City in 2016, actually, way back when. Or sorry, 2017, I apologize, about 2 years ago. And now he is performing as a pro player. Really an amazing story, amateur to rising star in season 1, and he's been a solidified pro player in all of season 2.
Was it 2016 to 17, or was
it was just January 2017.
Okay, so you can technically say, okay, it makes sense.
It's like the NFL, you know?
All right, well, now it's going to be another opportunity for Simplicity to push up yet again. See if they can get this B control here, and that is going to be a kill from Toy Soldier. 3 members are going to be down, 2 players left alive here. Now they're going to have to drop back to their home. Toy pushing up once again, gets the kill there onto Chaos, and now what was looking like a great round for Optic Mexico has now been controlled by Simplicity. They cannot allow them to get any points here, or else the round is over.
Can you believe this round? Simplicity looking to punch Optic Mexico right in the face in round number 1. All they got to do is keep playing for breaks here. So as long as they just touch that C-Hill and back out, which is exactly what Toy Soldiers can do. Can they get it? Yes, they do. Toy gets a double, and just like that, Simplicity is going to win this one. A break's going to come through for Toy, and Simplicity comes out on top. Wow.
I cannot believe that. What a round out of Simplicity. You thought that it was done, a wrap. 2 points was all Optic Mexico needed before they took that round, and instead Simplicity were able to bounce back so beautifully there. Wow. Well done.
Such a great round from Simplicity, and it was led by that man you just saw on your screen. It was only round 1. And we went off with 210 points. We broke the curse of 3-cap dominations, Golden Boy.
There you go, man.
Fantastic.
Yay us. Everyone wins today.
Everyone wins. It was led by that man, Zen, and we saw him on camera. We talked a lot about him. 6 kills already. Meanwhile, on the Optic Mexico side, Sleeper with 6 kills of his own. We'll see what's going to happen here in round number 2.
Now the marks that goes down here, and this is kind of what you'd expect from Optic Mexico. Again, this is the team that we harped on in game 1. Likes to take their time, likes to play a little bit more of the zone, try and see if they can box people out, forcing them to play into their hand a little bit here. But Simplicity, though, this is their map. They are prepared for that. Hesse, though, ends up getting taken out.
I liked what I saw. That was like an old Gears of War 1-esque strafe fight. No wall bouncing. It's like they both had a mutual gentleman's agreement not to press the A button.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe, you know, no 2 pieces, right?
Yeah.
Just go in there, some good old-fashioned L-triggering, and, you know,
2-piece,
little
man.
things.
I haven't heard that term in a long time, man. Jeez. Talk about throwback. Shout out to anyone that's been playing Gears since Gears of War 1.
I've been around. Now I know my age.
Makes me expose yourself there.
Yeah, well, I mean, people can just look at me and they can kind of get the idea. Deteriorating like Maven over here.
Yeah, right.
So now we got a little bit of that good old standoff here, but Simplicity will have control of B. So that means Optic Mexico need to make a move. They're going to see if those smokes are going to try and open things up for them here.
Yeah, and in most Gears titles, you used to hate these standoffs, but it's almost refreshing to see a standoff. There's a beautiful headshot from Sleeper is going to get picked up here. So the standoff could officially over as fast as it started.
An exclusive, man. You know, he saw that player, I believe the player before Adverse, push up and try and get control of that wall, but exclusive was right there for the stop, forcing this situation the way that it's currently going here, and it is working out beautifully for Simplicity.
Yep, now they have to finish. 5-on-4, numbers advantage. Wraparound shot from exclusive. He's going to connect for a kill. Nice support comes through. Can they get the double? Yes, they do. Hesse, exclusive, takes out 2, make it 3 as Desonad's going to get shut down here, and the 3-cap domination is looking strong. All up to Monkeys. Monkeys gets a double kill. It's not going to be enough.
No, there was a blue ball there for Simplicity. Yeah, blue wall, green wall. Totally didn't make the connection until I said it out loud, but.
You know, maybe hashtag blue wall. Maybe that's
what Simplicity does.
Simplicity, you have a new hashtag in case you didn't have one already. Golden Boy just named one.
I've got to find him. One of the marketing guys, I think, for Simplicity texted me, and he was like, it's pretty cool to see Golden Boy saying Simplicity. And I was like, you know what, man? There you go. Hashtag blue wall. You got that
blue
one.
Wall.
What is it? Yeah, the Tough Puff. There you go, bud.
Shout out to Tough Puff.
All for you.
I love it. Only 2 deaths right now for Sneak, and it's something. Of course, big shout to Coalition for adding the death counter in addition to time dead. Of course, they listened to community feedback and added that. And it's a really good story to tell. 2 deaths only for Sneak, which means he's alive, constantly impacting fights and constantly helping his team.
Kind of want to stay alive.
Yep. Kind of important, yeah.
Kind of an important thing. Kind of a thing that you need to do.
Across most titles.
Yeah, very.
And in real life.
Yes. I definitely want to stay alive in real life there. Well, for sure. But it seems like, though, that Optic Mexico doesn't like staying alive because they are dying all over the place. Zenon now, he's going to get downed. And, I spoke too soon there because Optic Mexico were looking like they were in dire straits. But instead, it was going to be Simplicity who were going to have to take the L in that initial battle.
And what's interesting is 5 dead for Simplicity and just now, finally, a point on the board for Optic Mexico. That's typical when you see a weapon being placed over by the pit. That's typical in the first half because you don't have a hill over there. And Optic Mexico is going to use that numbers advantage to grab that boom shot and control the 2-cap setup. And that's really what it comes down to in Gears. If you're an aspiring player, there's really 3 forms of strategy you see these teams deploy. They have the initial strategy, which is their first strat off of the rip in the beginning of the round. Then there's a setup strategy for the team that wins that initial, or a break strategy for the team that is conversely trying to break that 2-cap setup. This setup is just too strong right now for Optic Mexico, especially with the boom shot in their hands.
Yeah, the boom shot's just an instant kill if you're able to land it on the feet, which is exactly what Dezenide was able to accomplish there, thus forcing back this push opportunity from Simplicity. Of course, he doesn't know who's going to be around that corner. He doesn't have does that player have a Lancer, a Nasher, or in the instance there, a boom shot that just spelled doom for him?
Yep. And now, speaking of walls, the actual green wall says, hey, Golden Boy, it's our wall, as they're going to put up their own green wall with the boom shot, shutting down any push. Dezenide going to take the shotgun out to hold on to that boom shot. If you're wondering why he didn't use the boom shot to get that kill, that's why he wanted to save it for a better moment.
Yeah, especially for those big pushes, right? Because that just stops any opportunity. All momentum just ends up getting shifted in favor of Optic Mexico, and that is going to be a domination here. 3 seconds. No one's going to be coming off the respawn quickly enough. And that's going to be a first point on the board for the green wall.
Battle of the walls here. So it sounds like a Game of Thrones reference.
I didn't necessarily, somewhere Hex is screaming my name, but I didn't say that it was the blue wall. Just that they were the cog, and the cog is blue, and they are the blue team. And
it was a metaphor.
Blue. Yeah,
not a hashtag.
I wasn't trying to go hashtag.
And then I threw you under the bus.
There, but you totally did. But it's okay though. It's okay.
So politically correct.
Hey man, I've casted Optic so many times that I've been thrown under the walls. Thrown under the walls.
Thrown under the wall. Behind the wall.
Behind the wall, over the wall. There's endless amounts of wall jumps that we can make here.
Good job by Optic Mexico right there, and that's textbook. You like to see escalation in its pure form and beauty, which is the losing team gets to change the tide of the map by placing a weapon. They place a boom shot. They use that boom shot to win the round. And Optic Mexico is so strong when there's lethality on the board, and that's exactly why they placed that boom shot just 1 round ago.
This initial battle is going to be so important here for the boom shot, and that is going to be a pickup there from Chaos, who manages to get away with that one. So Optic Mexico gets the boom one more time, follows up with a kill onto Sneak. Doesn't get another kill with that one though, but still his teammates are there for the support, and that is going to be Optic Mexico clearing them out on the initial.
5 dead for Simplicity. That should be a 3-cap domination if Optic Mexico sends their troops to the right points. And look at that, A and C going to be capped simultaneously, but no one's going to go B. It looks like someone's slowing the B-hill rotation.
Oh, and Adver is actually able to get away with their marks as well. So that is now going to let him just set up and take pot shots from afar, and also have to force Simplicity to go on the inside if they want to try and make any pushes, because if they go outside, they're going to get obliterated by the marksman.
Yeah, well said, because guess what? They have not only 1, but 2 marksmen probably on the board right now. It's going to show. Look at the damage and the lethality of that marksman, how much damage he's able to put in so quickly. 8 kills, 3 downs for Monkeys, 5 deaths to his name as well. as now they're just going to hold this 2-cap setup, but this does give Simplicity an opportunity to bounce back. So what's really going to turn the tide here is this B-hill push for one, but the boom shot will be responding in 25 seconds as well.
Just look how much power, look how much strength that Marks is outputting, right? That is a lot of damage being dealt. And Optic Mexico simply just able to hold this one up. They're playing slowly, but Xenon able to push in for the double, but gets killed there by Adverse. He gets shut down. So I was gonna say that Optic Mexico, they were gonna be able to play to their strengths, play back a little bit, but then you forget that they're playing against Simplicity, a team that really loves just getting in your face. And it ends up paying off big time for them there.
Yep, now Optic is going to survive here. Nice 1v1 picked up by Toy Soldier. And look at the difference though. Simplicity knows when to push that 3-cap. They're just knocking on the door for the 3-cap. They're going to have to back out here and reset. But I would have liked to have seen Optic Mexico, and they had 5 dead for Simplicity, close that round out. That's where you would see an Optic, you would see an Echo Fox close that round 9 out of 10 times.
It was hard though, because remember, they had 5 down, but they didn't have positioning, right? Yep. That's why he did the next best thing. He stole the Marksa and then got out of there. But still though, now, coulda, shoulda, because Simplicity definitely looking to win this round out as he's able to get this battle here, win this fight out, but that is actually going to be a pickup on the B side as well. Chaos with the headshot onto Hezi, and the boom shot has been picked up as well by Monkeys.
Yep. And with that, Simplicity trying to fight their way back into this one. Let's go ahead and jump into an Astro Gaming listening with Simplicity.
Two. Right, there's 3 here right now. Boom's on golden. Boom, I think that's boom. Yeah. I think that's boom. Bro, I say
let's just make moves, bro.
I'm about to
we can't be afraid.
I'm about to push this boom.
I'm throwing smoke out wide.
I'm about to push boom. Boom.
Watch out! Monkeys is one shot too.
Bro, boom is still on golden.
I got stunned. You're alone, Sneak. I got stunned, bro.
We're coming. He went to the boom on T. Boom's on T. That's boom. That's yeah. He doesn't know where to shoot it.
One. On me.
Find one golden.
Oh, what's he?
Yo, he's fighting. Boom.
Why?
Watch out! Down on T.
Down
on T. Zen's the only one alive.
There's 4B.
Yeah, they Oing. Does anybody know?
One might be going on catwalk.
Yeah, they're probably Oing.
They rotate back to him. Up at 3. Only 200 hill.
What is this idiot doing?
He won the round.
Bro, we should have hold their L, bro. Like, we should not run that at all, bro.
I hate running, bro.
Yeah, bro, I understand there's 4 there, bro, but you guys are all the way on the other side of the map. Our best situation there is to fucking hold and stall, bro. The boom's coming up, bro. Me running, bro, that was just do it all the way, bro, because I'm by myself and we just played
Did anybody hear Phallic say, like, when boom's up?
Yeah, bro, he said 20 seconds, bro. That's
I didn't hear
he said 20 seconds, Jamie. That's why I said you cannot go down now. I was sitting on their L with a perfect Lancer, bro. Like, let's stop being pussy. Simple.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead. Up there.
Alright, we gotta win this fight. Let's go. Let's go, boys. We got this.
What up? Yeah, they're spotting people. We're getting kills and shit, but they're finishing shit.
Excellent. Brilliant, Steve. Look, Steve. Delaying Steve. 2 on Steve. 2 Steve.
Not flank their side. I didn't flank I'm dead. Yo, flank our side. I got one. We got pin.
I got one.
Yo, pin. Got 2 plat. I got one more. One more. 4 dead. 80 on him. 80.
I got boom.
I got 80 on that kid.
Still there.
He's ran. He's back row. He's on the bucket.
He's on me.
Nice. 5 dead.
I'm gonna be.
I can't cap there.
You can cap. I don't think you can.
Oh no, they're all small. They're 2 up.
Alright, you're on the hill. Alright.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't like it. They're gonna get marked.
Fantastic listening there with Simplicity. Really gave us some insight into A, the struggles that they're having, and B, how they were able to bounce back for that initial fight.
Yeah, I love the second part of that statement. The way that they were able to talk through their problems, their issues. You heard the leadership from Sneaky, a lot of respect for him. You mentioned, I don't think we should have ran right there. I think we should have held a Lancer and held the setup. And you kind of get a beautiful insight into the minds of Simplicity.
And you had mentioned it before, right? That they had the boom, they had an opportunity to be able to push up, like little things like that, right? And they recognize that as well. So it's not only us here commentating and getting a vibe for that, but it's also the players that are like, you know, we should have just waited, and you have to question those scenarios there. But now, though, as we shift our focus here to round number 5 of play, it looks as if Simplicity is going to get this domination potentially. Dezo's going to stop it for the time being, and
be able to get
the heads-up play from Dezenide, giving his best ribs impression by staying sneaky and running past the enemy team. It's not going to matter. He gets shut down. So does all of Optic Mexico, except for Adverse, as finally he gets taken out as well. 3-cap domination and simplicity. Look at that. Their ability to bounce back, take the feedback well from the round before, and win the round following.
And that is a testament to see how, for me, how far this team can go. When you're able to adjust on the fly, when you're able to have the conversation and say, like, why didn't we do this, instead of saying, why didn't you do this, you know? Because as a team, you are a squad. You cannot point the fingers, especially mid-game. You don't know how many times I've seen teams do that in the past, where it's like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? That is just not good gameplay there, not good teamwork at all. But now we're in a situation where Simplicity, they're going to be up here, but it is 3-2, and this has been such a great matchup thus far, Fallout.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Look at this. I mean, map number 1 was back and forth until Optic Mexico took that one and ran with it. We'll see if we'll see the same tale in map number 2. Monkeys picks up first blood on Zenon.
That first blood could be really bad for Simplicity here. So what was a great start in that last round, just not ending out the way that they wanted it here. Toy Soldiers end up going to be backed up and forced in a situation to have to take on 2 players there, and that will lead to nothing. He dies, and now it's going to be all Optic Mexico as Simplicity is coming off the respawns. Those spawns are taking so long as well, and they have Boom to stop them. This is OG Mexico's round, but things reset.
And once again, we go to 3-3, heading in a second half of the map, just like map number 1. So history is repeating itself. If it continues to, we'll see Optic Mexico run away with the second half, but Simplicity, of course, has something else to say about that one.
This was your pick, your decision to come to Dam. Now it's time to show us why, as it is 3-3. Everything's reset, and now the fight's going to be over the platform. This is going to be this will be very tough for Simplicity to go down 2-0 like that. It's just not something that I would have expected, given how strong they showed up in game number 1, but then just kind of fizzled out toward the end here. And Simplicity already losing 2 members off the break on this fight. Xenon's just getting forced back as well. Maybe he can go in there for some cleanup, but no one's just going to be there, and that is going to be all Optic Mexico Fallout.
And a good job by Optic Mexico defending the member of their team that was down and really baiting that kill. Too easy for them, as now they have a lead control. Keep in mind, it's the first round of the second half, so player respawn timers are back to 12 seconds, which is why you're less likely to see a 3-cap domination. It's more about holding your two hill setups and winning off the points in these early rounds.
Cleanup duty, aisle 3 there, because that was just nasty as they...
Well, that was aisle 1, actually.
Aisle 1? That was aisle 1?
That was aisle 1.
Okay, fair enough. We got to really... fair enough. You got to determine where aisle 3 is. Well, eventually, you know, where are the aisles anyway? Optic Mexico doesn't care for the aisles. They are just destroying Simplicity in this round. And you mentioned we may not see a domination here, but this game has pretty much given us all of the things that we wouldn't expect in an early round of Gears of War. As Simplicity comes off of the respawn, it will be Optic Mexico continuing to hold this one down. Domination denied again and again, but still though, this is more pressure being applied onto Simplicity. Maybe that was cleanup aisle 3 there.
And there you have it. Optic Mexico is going to take that one. A great round for them. They win the initial, but keep in mind what they did. They didn't go for the 3-cap right away because they recognized, hey, we won't have an opportunity to do this. They went for a second wave of slaying and kills before going for the 3-cap domination. Smart play from them, and it's something you used to see very often in the Halo days. You see really often in Escalation as well.
Yeah, you just kind of playing around your corners, you know, knowing when that player is going to have to push, because you're just forcing them to have to charge, right? They have to go the quickest way possible, you know, straight line to the point, and that is when you force those mistakes and you start to get those waves of spawns coming in, and that is why that domination, as you said, Fallout, very well done from Optic Mexico. And the placement has gone down. It will be frags inside of the pit. You know, I kind of like this. I like this decision here from Simplicity. Frag grenades can really throw things for a loop if you're not careful.
Yep. But at the same time, nothing too crazy, so they like their fight, they like their stock weapons. You called it out map number 1 brilliantly. They're really good with those default weapons, those Nashers. They want to keep that tied, but it's not going to work out well for them just yet.
Frag zone will be picked up by Optic Mexico. And in this particular area, the frags work out very well, and that is going to be 2 kills for Adverse. They're picking that up. Will get down and killed by Hesse, but Chaos is there for the follow-up. And the frag grenade placement there on platform straight because of the corners. It's a lot of areas for that nade to bounce around, and not a lot of opportunity for you to be able to move around that area. And this has just been clinical by Optic Mexico.
Yep, and we're seeing it again. Optic Mexico running away with the second half. When they catch fire, we talked about it in the pregame show, their biggest strength is their skill. And when they catch fire, that really helps elevate and magnify that strength, their ability to slay out, their ability to win their 1 versus 1s, and ultimately end up on top. Great job, Optic Mexico, recognizing their strength and capitalizing.
You always hate to see that utility being put down, and then the other team gets it, you know, because you didn't win your initial fight there.
That is true.
And the boom shot now. This is when things are going to get hot and heavy here. The boom shot right in front of E. It's going to put a lot of attention over here on the platform side of the map now. And I like this decision too from Simplicity to just try and like play around them a little bit, right? But I don't know though. Optic Mexico, they're heating up and things are getting really scary for them.
And with that, Optic Mexico backs against the wall. Let's go ahead and jump into an Astro Gaming listen-in with Optic Mexico for our Spanish-speaking fans out there.
Escúchame. No jueguen normal como siempre jugamos, güey. Ya saben cómo. Pero, güey, literalmente a mí me llegaron 2 por Baby, pero me quisieron rodear por la derecha. Lifer, tú cuidado ahí, aguas con el de la derecha, güey.
Es que me tiré uno en reja y luego me volteé.
Pero puedo agarrar boom, yo sí me puedo meter a Baby.
¿Qué quieren que pongamos?
Pero no, pero...
Unos jamas arriba, ¿no?
Métete tu plata, pero yo juego atrás tuyo.
¿Qué van a hacer?
Juega pozo tú.
Pero escúchame, si juegan por nades, güey, ¿qué vamos a hacer?
Nada, tenemos que puchar el boom.
Pero que si las lanzan y los encierran. Porque estos güeyes, mira, ve, me vinieron 2 por acá, pero se fueron acá los 2. O sea, nadie me fue Baby, yo me metí y...
No jugaron el boom, jugaron por la esquina.
Ajá, jugaron por los lados. ¿Qué hacemos? No hay que encerrarnos el boom, güey. O sea, solo, si así, solo nos metemos uno. Oye, Lifer, yo digo que cuando nos metamos y digas que puedes agarrar boom o uno de nosotros, que el Lifer lance humo enfrente, güey, para que lo puedas agarrar, porque no te va a matar.
¿Por qué no juega por el de Babies? De eso, ¿por qué el Lifer no se va por el lado del tanque?
Sí, juega por la... Mono, juega pozo.
No puede, porque es aparte más izquierda esto. Venga, 2 rondas.
Voy a jugar directamente por el lado de total de pozo, todavía el mío va por carretera.
Creo que sí viene Plat, uno.
Uno V,
primero. Otro. Estoy contigo, mono. Mono, estoy contigo.
Por ahí, güey, por ahí. Me enseñaron.
Está rojo. Fue one shot. Tenemos otro kill.
Tenemos
nades.
Güey, hay uno mero boomer. Sí, boom. Cuidado, está solo, mano. Te voy a hacer tiempo. Te voy a hacer tiempo, nada más.
Bueno, mataste a uno.
Tranquilo. Yo lo comento, tranquilo.
There you have it, Optic Mexico. Fallout, what did you take away from that listening?
A whole lot of nothing. Wish my high school Spanish-speaking days were still
Well, you know
applicable
what's the sad thing is that I am I'm Hispanic and I don't speak Spanish. And somewhere my wife is in the back just shaking her head right now. She's just like,
we get Cynthia to translate, please?
Yeah, no, right? She was a Spanish teacher. She could do it. You know, awesome. Have the one salty nut come out here and translate. Anyway, though, one thing I will take away, though, given how quickly they were speaking is a very clear difference from the listen-ins, right?
Styles.
A lot of people talking, right? Kind of like, you know, a little bit more of the old school dialogue, right? When you have 5 people out there, you kind of got to, you know, calm it down a little bit, maybe not have that much conversation going on, but it works for them. And, you know, they're just kind of repeating those phrases over and over again, and that's essentially like what you'd always expect to hear a lot of these players do, right? Just repeat phrases, put the emphasis on those locations.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's interesting about Optic Gaming. The best team, honestly, in console esports history, potentially the dynasty they've created, is they're very calm in their comps. They have Summons who's very quiet, Mento who's very quiet, and it's a really different dynamic than we're used to seeing.
Well, now this is looking pretty good for Optic Mexico. They're forcing Simplicity back. Another domination attempt again, and they just have Nashes out as those players try and make a stop. And that's going to be another kill there and another point for the green wall as
you have it.
Optic Mexico. It's shades of what we saw on Harbor.
Exactly, the exact same thing. Same scoreboard too, if Optic Mexico can close this out. We are now up to match point. If you're an Optic Mexico fan, let me see you blow it up in the chat and get excited for these guys as Optic Mexico off to a phenomenal start here to kick off the Gears Pro Circuit San Diego Open. 6-4 match point on the verge of 7-4-7-4ing a Simplicity squad that beat them in pools in the last event.
What does Simplicity do here to get a win and stop this train that Optic Gaming seems to be on right now?
Yeah, my personal decision is to place a weapon high side towards pumping station. You got to flip the map on its head, maybe a drop shot up there, maybe a torque bow, or something that's going to really change the tide of this map.
Instead, they opted to cancel out the spot on the home side here. Adverse gets the first blood again. Hesse's going to go down, Seek's going to go down, and this is not looking good for Simplicity at all.
Up to Mexico. 4 dead, make that 5 dead as Toy's gonna get taken out as well. That should be all she wrote as player respawn timers are vastly long right now. D-Hill's being capped and Optic Mexico is gonna do it. They're gonna 2-0 Simplicity here in match number 1.
Chaos said that it will be simple to take out Simplicity, and that is, for all intents and purposes, exactly what ended up happening. Just a strong showing from Optic Mexico.
I want to talk about the performance of that man on your screen in the center right there, at Dezenide. 11 deaths and 25 plus kills. This man just put on a phenomenal individual performance, and we've seen it so many times before. Dezenide does it once again, especially in the absence of identives on this roster in Season 2. He's really had to step up his game to be that fearless leader.
Very well done.
You kind of wonder where the breakdown happened on Simplicity. When we heard the listening, Sneak was recalling around. He was saying, you know, Toy, we told you not to push. You know, Boom Shot was coming up. Toy, he was tunnel vision. He didn't hear anything. People were dying. There was miscues. That can't happen here on the big stage. Yep. When you come to MLG, all of those type of problems, they need to be ironed out. Heading forward with Simplicity.
That's a great point. I mean, Bella, you used to compete back in the day, and you know all about that.
I tunnel visioned all the time, so I know about it. There's times when you come to the main stage where you have to be completely focused. You have to trust your teammates, listen to your teammates, because communication is the most important thing.
And I thought that they were. I thought that they were, honestly, starting to have that dialogue and have that trust, but then they fell apart again.
They weren't on the same page.
They were really indecisive.
Yeah.
They weren't together on the same page as a team. One player's, I think we should have done this. I think we should have done this. You're going to hear Toy, call out the coach. Did he call for boom shot? Someone says, yeah, he called that it was up in 20 seconds. So there's a lot of disconnect, and I think that, like you mentioned, there's a little bit of tunnel vision, kind of focusing on the individual fights and not looking at the bigger picture. And that was something that we kind of saw Optic Mexico, they were doing. They were looking at the bigger picture, and they were pushing these fights, and something that I really, really enjoyed was on baby steps. On one of the initials, you see people backing up, Lancer, Nasher. It's a combination. Not everyone just head downing with a Nasher. And I think that's something that ultimately, Simplicity, they have some great slayers, great talent, but you need to know when to put that weapon away. I cannot stress that enough, and that was a serious downfall in those initials.
Cleaner. All right, so congratulations to Optic Mexico with their win. But we're going to send this off to the main stage where Farouk has an interview with the winners.
Thanks a lot, Billy. I got Chaos down here, winning team Optic Mexico. Tell me, what was that match about? I mean, you said it was going to be simple. Probably wasn't as simple as you wanted it to be, but tell me how you feeling about your team right now.
We're feeling good. It could have been a little bit cleaner. I think we messed up a little things, but we're gonna clean those up and we're gonna play Optic now.
Now we want to talk about the package that they ran for you here. You know, you talk about the pride for your country, for Puerto Rico. Talk to me a little bit about that, and also about your pride about Gears of War.
Well, Puerto Rico is everything to me. I was raised up there, so I've been all my life there, and it's my home, and I love the people. I love everything about it, and we're prideful. Puerto Rican, we're prideful. We're full of pride, yeah.
And I got to tell you, man, I love the food. I've been to Puerto Rico. I visited the fort down there. Love it down there. Tell me though, the decision to keep, not be there during the hurricane and be there for Gears of War and all that kind of stuff. Tell me about your love for the game and for Gears of War and where it's brought you in your life.
Well, of course, Gears is a big part of my life right now, and I love the game so much. I've been playing 10 years, so yeah, it's great. I love the game. I love the fans. I love everything about it. The trash talk is a great environment, so yeah, I love it.
All right, I'm going to let you send it off. Say something to your people back home in Puerto Rico, man.
Nada, los quiero, los amo, los adoro. Nada, gracias por apoyarnos a todos y pues vamos a ganar este.
I know he said I love y'all, so love y'all too. We'll see y'all. Send this back to the desk, y'all.
and some other things.
I'm part Puerto Rican, but I was thinking Lika Spanish.
I'm looking at Alex now because Alex
I don't know if I can translate the last part, but
but like Chaos said, Gears of War has brought us so far along. Fallout, you and I, we've been in the community. We've been teammates for such a long time now, and we've been able to travel the world to play the game that we love, and that's what we're ultimately here for. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody. If you're at home, listen, this event has been one that you did not want to miss. Make sure you come out. You never know what's going to happen when you come to one of these events. But moving along, Optic Mexico finally showing us what they're capable of. Des and I going completely. How do you feel about them, Cleaner?
Here's the thing.
No, well, I was going to say, you know what? We kind of expected them to start a little bit slower, just in their track record. But they came out today kind of proving us wrong. And with that second map, when we're actually on Dam, I kind of called both teams out for something that we didn't really see a real power weapon map 1 on Harbor.
Yeah.
We saw the long shot, we saw hammer burst, Marks, and Marks is always going to be put down. It's going to be for exclusive and Monkeys. Monkeys is such a phenomenal player. I've become such a fan of him.
Right.
He's one position, one play that I kind of want to call out on Optic is that in that B fight, there was a position where Des and I was kind of fighting with Sleeper. Des and I was being chased, cuts around, kills one, downs one. And then you see Monkeys. I don't even know where he came from with the Marks, but headshots. And that's the team fire that you're looking for. That's kind of the communication. And that's something that we didn't really see from Simplicity. I mean, the phenomenal roster, phenomenal team. I think they just weren't working as well together as they could have, cohesively. I expect a little bit more.
Early rounds they were.
They were phenomenal early on in the round.
It's when the second that things start getting placed on the map, that's when things just start to go kaput.
Yeah, and I think what really, in my opinion, really told the tale were those two listenings. We talked about it a little bit on the Simplicity side. I know I didn't understand a word of the Optic listening, but you could tell the difference. It was clean. It was confident. Whereas you could tell there's a lot of bickering, a lot of back and forth in the Simplicity listen. I think it really was indicative of what we're seeing at that team, which is newer team. Toy Soldier just got picked up a little bit recently after New Orleans. It's going to take them some time to mesh. I also want to say it's easy to get ahead of ourselves as casters and get excited and say Optic Mexico is looking so strong. But let's not let history